Good evening everyone and welcome to TTG F2 round 3 here in Austria. It is the Red Bull Ring, of course, for round 3 of the championship. Lyronic's currently leading the way on the maximum 50 points after his 2 dominant wins. Who is going to win here tonight? I'm JamesHead14. I'm your lead commentator as per usual. Joining me in the commentary box as always is Alan K. He's just making a coffee, I think, at the moment. He will be back on the mic very shortly indeed. So let me take you through who we are expecting to race tonight. Currently got 7 drivers, which is to be expected coming towards the end of the game cycle, of course. I've just pre-ordered F1 2019 Legends Edition myself this morning. And it's fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to getting to grips with the new game. So we have got Maze. We have got LR Sainz, who was LR Verstappen last week. LR Sainz, now his new name for Livid Racing. We've got Sneaky. We've got the 2 Portuguese drivers, Sneaky. We've got George filling in between in the Williams. We've got Fate in the Renault. We've got Plaster in the Force India. And we've got Lyronix, the legend that is Lyronix, currently championship leader on 50 points coming into round 3 here in Austria. So we only got 7 drivers at the minute. We've now got 8 as Jeffrey has joined. Welcome back, Jeffrey, who has attended, I think, both races so far, if my mind corrects me there. I'm just going to share the link out into my GHR Discord just to get a few new viewers into the stream. And thank you very much to everyone that has reached 254 subscribers as start of play tonight. So thank you everyone for tuning in to then, and it is absolutely fantastic to see that we are starting to get a good attendance for tonight. We've got 8 drivers here so far, and we'll see what is going to unfold out on track tonight. As I'm just going to put this link in, my co-commentator Alan K is back in the commentary box after making his cup of coffee.
Good evening everyone, looking forward to this race.
Fantastic, yeah, it should be
first 2 rounds we've seen.
2 rounds to go and then end of the game. Goodness me, it's flown over this as. It doesn't feel like 2 weeks ago we just started this. It really doesn't.
No, definitely doesn't. It doesn't feel like it's been a year since this game is out. But
yeah, well, yeah, I've just said that I've pre-ordered F1 2019 today, right today. So I'm very happy that I've pre-ordered it. Legend Edition plus the Steelbook from Game here in the UK. Fantastic indeed, I can't wait. But
well, I'd love to be able to buy them versions still of the games, but unfortunately my PS doesn't read discs anymore, so I have to download all my games.
ah, terrible. Terrible. Well, it is the norm, really. People downloading games, digital downloads, making things a lot easier for people.
My PS is 1st generation.
Yours is 1st generation.
Yeah, the 1st generation PS, and it's still going strong.
Yeah,
so,
I think I've had mine. I've certainly had mine a good nearly, I think it's 4 or 5 years now, so I think it might be the same version as yours, but I'm not sure. Lighty's just joined, by the way.
5 years, yeah. 5 years old, mine is at this stage.
5 years old, wow. Anybody needing an invite? Oh, I'll turn off my notifications just to be on the safe side. Don't want any interruptions. Fantastic indeed. We have got 10 drivers in so far. I'm going to get into spectator mode before Maze puts in the comments that I need to get into spectator mode. And Lyronix has said hello in the chat, so good evening to Lyronix. Is he going to make a 3 out of 3 tonight?
Looking at the standings, Sean obviously well able to pause the track on certain tracks. Maes possibly as well, and from the practice session we just came out of, Jeffrey Hennig seems to have found some speed from somewhere, so let's keep an eye on him too.
Jeffrey Hennig, I've got to make a case for Lighty. I think he can have a better race than last week in Canada, and of course LR Sainz, who got robbed right at the start last week in Canada, so watch out for him. I think he'll be a one to watch. But we are about to start. It is 8 o'clock by me. I'm not sure if we are expecting anyone else.
Waiting for the guys to ready up.
Fantastic, so we can start. Just checking on the comment section because there's a few more came through. Maze is watching me like a hawk. A hawk? What was that word? What was that word? Goodness me, a hawk. Watching me like a hawk. Dear me.
The way you said it the first time around there, people would be forgiven for thinking you were Irish.
I'm definitely not Irish. I live in a very glum part of the world in northeast England, so yeah, not great. Not great at all. But hopefully that doesn't interfere at all on where I live and on this commentary, because I'm going to provide you with the best possible commentary. If you hear me take a drink, by the way, it is a tradition of mine to take a drink during commentary, so don't worry if I go silent. Might just be my connection again like last week, but who knows.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen this week.
I really hope it doesn't happen this week. Really hope
Hopefully
it doesn't.
your PlayStation's close enough now before we start this time.
My PS4 is in a different position to where it was last week, so I think it should be fine.
So that's good news. Hopefully that should
be
work for
fine.
us.
As everyone begins to ready up, is everyone plaster readying up there? We are about 20 seconds away from action here for TTG F2 round 3. Has the standings been put up on the Twitter? Because I couldn't find them earlier when I was looking.
I'm not too sure if they've been put up on the Twitter, but I am in the league PSN chat at the moment, so I will give a quick run through the standings. So after 2 rounds at the moment, Lyronix leads the way on 50. Mays is second with 30 points. Sean just behind on 27. Kieran, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it tonight, is on 21 points. Should be back for next week. Is Renault teammate of X-Fight on 18 points, tied with both Lloydie and Bishy, all on 18 points. Then in 8th you've got Plaster on 8 points, and at the moment the last scoring driver on 9th is Jeffrey Henney with 6 points. So Jeffrey Henney bringing up the rear there at the moment, but as I said, it appeared in qualifying that he'd found some pace, or in practice before this, so he'd found some pace. So let's see if that is actually the case.
Yep, I've literally just found the standings myself there, so I was following through, making sure everyone was in order. And I think if we were doing constructors, even though we're not, it would be Ferrari in front on 48, I think, if my maths is right there, and Renault on 39. So, actually, no, what am I on about? Sauber's on 50.
50, yeah.
Ignore me. That's why we do not do constructors, and that's why I don't do maths at all.
Well, the constructors at the moment would be Sauber, Ferrari, Renault.
Yeah. Sauber, Ferrari, Renault. Actually quite close there between Sauber, Ferrari, 2 points.
And then Mercedes, Force India and Toro Rosso would be the other 3 teams.
Oh no, you've missed McLaren there, 27. Yeah, McLaren on 27, Sean.
McLaren 27, yeah, Sean, yeah.
But we've got our first action coming out on track. That looks like Mr. Sneaky, who's, I don't think he's released the pit limiter there. Goodness me.
Yeah,
nearly a bit of contact.
Sainz, LR Sainz was a bit late releasing his pit limiter coming out there. I had on board with Sainz.
LR Sainz, of course. If you're wondering who he is LR Verstappen from last week. Head of Academy in Livered Racing, actually, he is. Looking good, formerly known as SSR Cooper, or Coops, or I don't know how you pronounce his name really from SSR, but he's in Livered Racing now, and he seems to have found his place there, and hopefully he can deliver a good result compared to not even making it into Turn 1 in Canada, which was one of the weirdest crashes I think I've probably ever seen. But interesting that Sneaky has gone on the soft compound of tyre. There's a couple who have opted for the soft. Lyronix, Lighty as well.
As the Ferrari X-Fight approached the last couple of corners.
Yep, yellow flag sector 3.
He's gone back into the pits, X-Fight. He'd only come out to start a lap there and he's gone straight back in. I think Mr. Sneaky is the next one to start a flying lap.
Very interesting. So, yep, Sainz is just starting a lap, going into turn 1. Yeah. Looking nice exit there. And up into turn 2. Is the kink at turn 2 and is this turn 3? Because I get confused here.
I cannot call that King Turn 2. It's not a turn. Turn 2 is what they
It's
call
top of the
Turn
hill.
3 now, but
Yeah.
it's the original, top of the hill, the original Turn 2. Will always be the way this track for me.
Yeah, running down the hill, he was a 15.9 through the first sector, so sub 16 first sector is actually quite good around here. Sainz now coming through turn 5, which is the left-hander here. Running through nicely. 44.5 through the middle sector, now through turn 6 and 7, left and right. A little bit of a chicane there, almost, approach. But not running ERS mode 5, which does bother me a bit. You can run an ERS mode 4 and gain a little bit of speed. Now through turns 8 and 9, Sainz goes to complete the end of his lap. He's run massively wide. I think that might be an invalidation there.
See, we're dropping back as well. It's not, he's got it. It's a 105.2. We should expect to see that beaten.
Oh, yeah.
But as you were saying there, dropping back or going to ERS mode 5 instead of 4 through that section. You only really get the best benefit from the ERS mode 4 from 6th gear upwards. So when you're coming through that section, you're swapping from down to 5th, up to 6th, back down to 5th, and then you're up to 6th and you're literally only up to 7th and you're back down to 6th and then down to 4th. So it's not really beneficial to be going up and down them because you're actually losing a bit of performance as you switch. For the split second as you switch it, it loses like a little bit of performance while the settings change. So it actually benefits to stay in the hot lap mode around here.
Of course, I think it does benefit, of course. Lyronix, by the way, has just gone second with a 105.5 and a set of softs. Obviously, Sainz will be improving on this lap, but he has invalidated again, and I think he could be coming in the pits. He is. The Sainz into the pits. Sean goes third.
Just looking in the chat there, Cooper saying, sup, how's Cooper tonight? Lyronix and May saying, rain in the race, dry to wet race. So there is something to look forward to. Also, Jeffrey Henny saying hello, good evening, guys, good luck, everybody. Yeah, same to you, Jeffrey.
Let's have a look. Oh, Lyronix approaching the end of the. Well, this is turn 8 and 9, and he is 4/10 up on the lap, so looks like he's going to be going ahead of Sainz here. Oh, runs massively wide. It's similar to Sainz's line. Through the final corner, comes across the line, doesn't improve, and he knows it. He invalidated that.
I think he invalidated that one.
Just having a look. Lighty improving here in the Ferrari. First of the Ferraris. May's not out on track yet.
2/10. Sean's just finished come through the second sector, improving by 2/10 here.
Oh, he is, yeah. Lighty through the final corner.
He's bailing out a lap and pulling in, so.
Goes second. Lighty second with a 105.5, and you were on about Sean. Yeah, he's back in the pits.
Yeah, he's back. He's pulled out the lap. He was 2/10 up when he came through the final
George
sector,
on a nice lap here.
Second sector.
George on a nice lap, 2.5 tenths as the yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully that's just somebody getting out of the way on that out lap. I would think it might be Jeffrey.
He's around the final corner, keeps it nice and tidy. Oh, back in, gets a bit loose, but gets the power down.
Comes across the line. Invalidated was a 105.8. He would have went ahead of Sean there, if that counted.
That was a good lap there by George. And hopefully.
Oh, wow, Fate has got no front wing. Fate has got no front wing. So he was the sector 2 yellows.
Sector 2
yeah.
You can see he's absolutely missing his front wing there.
I think he spun it at turn 3 at the top of the hill. Or turn 2 even.
On a lap now. Well, is he coming? I'm not too sure whether he
run
is
up to
on a lap or not. He's
run up to turn 2.
Turn 1. He come around turn 1 up to turn 2, but he never activated his DRS.
I think he's invalidated this. I think he's invalidated because that first sector.
Invalidated the fourth corner, yeah.
Yeah, that first sector was about 17 seconds, so that's definitely not what you want to be seeing here in Austria. Is Jeffrey on a lap? No. Yeah, Jeffrey's on a lap. Coming through the middle sector. 46.1, he's invalidated. He's backed off.
You can see he's backed off that, yeah. So,
Sainz just preparing for the lap. Oh, Lyronix is on the lap, however.
Into the pits. Lyronix is on the lap.
2/10 up. Is that Plaster ahead of Lyronix there?
That's a lap.
Yeah. Final 2 corners. Somebody's just jumped up there. Yeah, Plaster Jeffrey coming across the line. Now Lyronix goes quickest with the 104.9. Nice lap. That's on 3-lap-old softs.
Yeah. Softs, yeah. We think we could see maybe if they do put if Lyronix or maybe Lloydie even Sean and May is maybe put on ultra softs. You could see maybe drop into the 103. So.
Oh yeah, we will definitely. Science is on a lap though, coming through the middle sector. Looking good, 105.2.
Asking how many will finish. We're wet in the race.
Hopefully all 10.
Yeah, hopefully all 10, but I'm gonna guess 8.
I'm gonna go even less than that. I'm gonna go 6.
Turn 2, the exit of turn 2 on the wet. Best of luck to lads who aren't using.
Sainz going quickest here. Nice lap, 103.9. So there we go, breaking into the 103. Sainz, good lap.
Ultra soft, so as we said, we'd see them sort of times come in.
Yep, that's on a new set of ultras as well.
Renault next fight coming out of pits there. May still in the pits. You've got.
Oh, Jeffrey spun at the final corner. Jeffrey had a moment at the final corner. He was off track. Not sure what went on there. I think he spun it out the final corner. Lost the back end. Very strange one. I caught it on that late. I don't know what really happened there to Jeffrey. Science not improving. Who is closest? Lighty.
Lloydie coming around too. He's just coming around to start his lap. So if you want,
Sean's just in behind him.
Onboard lap with, yeah, do an onboard lap with Lloydie here as he starts his lap.
Why is he coming across the line now to start his lap?
He wants to get up to his top speed, 8 gear, looking for the 100-meter board here, down to 4. So you want to clip the inside curb, not too much on the outside. That's a nice drive out of the corner by Lloydie. He's opened his DRS nice and early. And he wants to get his maximum speed in the run up the turn 2. Again, looking for the 100-meter board and using the uphill to help your braking, not to lock up. Second gear, up the third with a drive of the corner. He left it a bit late to go up the gear, but he's kept it moving in the right line. Again, DRS open as early as you possibly can. Coming down, looking for the 100-meter board again. You're braking 7th down to 3rd, last minute down to 2nd, just to avoid into that corner. To accelerate back up to 7th around the curve here. And back down to 5th down for this, and as I was saying to you, James, this is 5th and you're back up to 6th, back down to 5th, so it's a kind of up and down gear section. It's not really worth keeping it in the overtaking ERS mode. As he makes his way towards the second last corner, looking for just before the 50-meter board, down a gear and throw the car in. Again, down a gear and throw the car in for the last corner, and he makes his run for the line. Lady does a 104.4, so
Sean goes quicker behind him, 104.9.
Very good lap behind Sean on the super soft tyres though, so it's a good lap actually on the soft tyre for Lady.
Yeah.
104.4.
Great lap. Fate running up towards the line now. The Portuguese driver goes 4th for the 105.3, the set of ultras, but it's currently Sainz setting the pace. Lyronic 2nd, Sean in 3rd. 1500ths between Lyronic and Sean there. Very close. No room for error.
Maze's prediction for finishing, number of drivers finishing is in between ours with 7.
Ooh. Well, if it is in between 7, we could call it a draw, really.
Yeah, well, that's always the benefit of having a middle ground.
Plus, they're just about to start a lap, I think, in the Force India. If you don't mind, I'll take through this one.
Yeah.
And down into turn 1. Reaching about 200 mile an hour into braking zone, catches the 100-meter board on the left-hand side of the track. There's his teammate just leaving the pits there, Sneaky just leaving the pits on the right-hand side of the screen, just in the background there. Plaster running up now down into turn 2. First sector, I think that was a 16.3 for the first sector, and it's missed the corner and it's gone massively wide. That is an invalidated lap. Pretty much there.
Yep. That's definitely invalidated right
Lighty
there.
Retires. Has he crashed that? He wants to crash that out of him. Lyronics is on the lap on a set of supers actually. Coming around the final corner. The German currently unbeaten in TTG F2. Does he go pole? No, he doesn't. 104.3. 6/10 improvement. I think he's just saving something back here for his final lap, and he's going to set like a 10. It'll probably be a 103.5. You've got it nailed on here. Put a bet on it. 103.5 for Lyronics.
For Lyronics, I would say 103.7 being in around that time sort of. I don't think he's there.
Yeah, 103.6. Sneaky just coming across the line, sneaking across the line.
5 to 6 tenths difference between the tyres here, so
yeah.
If you take that real turn into it, you're looking at 103.6 or 7.
I see who else is on the lap. George through the middle sector. Oh, does it start to rain out on track?
I just thought I'd seen that there.
Yeah, it is starting to rain out on track. Through middle sector.
And Sean was in the middle of sector 2 as well. And just as I was watching Sean approach the turn 2 and I thought I seen Ryan was like, no, Ryan's not due for the race, is it?
And Ironics for tyres. Ironics for tyres. This track is looking quite greasy, to be honest.
Australia, yeah, it's getting very greasy.
George improves. 106.3 there from George.
Sean coming towards the second last corner now. Looks like, or sorry, Plaster, not Sean.
Yeah.
The second last corner. Oh. Gets a bit loose in the last corner. I think that might have just messed up his lap.
He's going to improve. Yeah, he improves his position. He improves his time.
2 tenths, but he was up by 8 tenths coming out of sector 2, so he's lost 6 tenths through that last corner. Little fight. Plaster.
Jeffrey about to come across the line. Mays retires. Doesn't feel like he's going to get a lap in. I don't blame him, to be honest, with the conditions changing.
That's a sensible decision because we know there's going to be rain in the race. It's wet or dry to wet, so Mays now has tyre choice. So Mays can take the soft tyre and go to the rain, where others ahead may have to pit twice. They may have to pit for off their ultra softs and then have to pit for inters.
Track not really. Yeah, track not really greasy at the moment for Jeffrey. By the way, the Force India is Plaster just off the left-hand side of the track there. But Jeffrey is improving through the first sector. It was a 16-1 first sector, so not a bad first sector considering the conditions getting worse. To the middle sector now.
Got a lot of spray kicking up. Usually, you can have, particularly with the soft.
Oh, he's improving.
The guys on the ultra softs, they will be able to manage the greasy. Of the track. It's only when you sort of see spray kicking up off the car that then sort of tyres will start to struggle.
This is looking good from Jeffrey. He did mention in a practice session that he was going. He's found some pace. He's gonna go third, I think here. Yeah, just ahead of Sean.
Yeah. That's a nice lap from Jeffrey.
104.9. So not a bad lap there. We've only got really, I think, George, who was invalidated.
Yeah.
On this lap, and Fate out on track. Everyone else, apart from Jeffrey just finishing off a lap, I think have called it quits. Might get out for another lap, but I don't see them coming out, to be honest.
To be honest with you, I don't see the track conditions decreasing as quickly as we thought they were. There still looks like plenty of grip out there, so the girls might still be able to go out and run a lap and see how they get on. I think if you're going out at this stage, you've got to go with ultras. You won't get the supers or the softs up to temperature to get a lap in there. So
that's exactly what Sean's done. Yeah, Sean, exactly, that's what he's done. He's out on the ultra softs. So about a 6/10 improvement you'll probably find from him here. 104.3 round ironic sort of area, I think.
As he pulls back into the pits. Jeffrey's still out on track.
Jeffrey's run out of fuel, has he?
This time, so yeah, he's going a lot slower. He's 8 tenths down, or 8 seconds down, so back to the pits goes Jeffrey. I think that
might get another lap.
Session at this stage. I don't think he'd bother. He's set an ultra soft lap already. I don't think he'd bother in a second. He's only coming into pit lane as well. You need about 30 seconds to get down pit lane to your garage, and then you need another 30 seconds to get out. So
George retires in the pits. Only got Sean out on track, running into someone.
And there's a bit of spray starting to come off Sean's tyres there as he come into Form 1, so it might be a tricky lap for him here, but we'll see how he gets on as he approaches the run up to Turn 2 on the timing sector.
Good first sector.
16.3, that's still a good sector here, so
I think that was actually a 16.1. I'm not sure if that was a 16.1. Yeah. Sean now coming through into turn 3. Actually, turn 4.
Only man on track at the moment is Sean.
Looking good at the minute, and the McLaren looking to improve.
Still plenty of grip out there for him by the looks of it. So he approaches the. It's giving me sector points. That's what.
44.9 that was. 44.9 to the middle sector. Not too bad. Sean through the final 2 corners. Really attacking this. He could go ahead of Jeffrey, I think, with this lap. Yeah, I think he is going to go ahead of Jeffrey here. Goes across the line, he does. 2 tenths improvement.
He does. 2 tenths it. So
got sneaky.
Out there, it's going to be very quickly fighting away. Sneaky, as you can see, getting spit sideways through that second last corner there.
Spray's beginning to get more and more on that left front.
Just starting to fall away.
He's going to go for very high 7th gear going into turn 1. I might just compromise his line, but that was a lovely run through turn 1.
Well, he's got the drive out of it. This is where it's gonna make or break his lap at the BC track now. There's an excellent turn 2. Can he get the power down and get the drive away from this corner?
Lovely.
A little bit tail happy, but he's away. He's got that car moving.
Dryline just starting to form in actually out on track. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And if he can stick to that, that will help him as a big kick of spray up as he locked up off the spray come up as well. Seen there, Kieran, as he locked up and went off that dry line.
Looking good at the minute. He's just dropping away from him now, I think. Shorten the tyres. And Sainz didn't make it across the line either. So it's only Sneaky to round off qualifying. He's improving here.
He's going to challenge George though. I think
he will. He goes down a lighty, I think, as well. 5th.
5th, yeah. He's looking at comparing him to George's middle sector times. He was about a 10th down, so he's picked up a lot of time through that final sector there, Mr. Sneaky.
Great lap from him. End of qualifying, and puts it to Ironics, but of course they're going to be starting on different tyres. Sainz on top on the Ultras with 3/10 gap to Ironics on the first row of the grid. So Red Bull against Sauber off the front row. Sean in 3rd, Jeffrey in 4th on the 2nd row. Then we've got an all Portuguese 3rd row with Sneaky and Fate in the Force India and Renault. Lighty and George on the 4th row, the German and the Brit. And Plaster and Mays. No time set from Mays. He's starting from the back of the field with Plaster on the 5th row of the grid.
I'm just looking in the chat there, Ironic saying he crashed during his run. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Ooh.
All Portuguese Tour row is an interesting one. The Portuguese drivers have had big support in our stream chat so far in this series.
As always.
I haven't seen Marco and one or two of the other Portuguese that have been supporting them around yet tonight, but I'm sure they will pop in at some stage and be supporting the Portuguese.
Do they know we're live? Do they know we're live? They might be thinking, oh, it might be an hour later.
They should know we're live. As far as I'm aware, everything's sent out.
And everyone, how many will finish? Yeah, Ironic saying he crashed. Top 3 prediction. I'm going to wait for the order to come up. But looking at when it does come up the order, I will make a top 3 prediction.
Guys, get the race strategy set up.
Top 3 prediction and an underdog I'm going to go for tonight, with there only being 10 drivers here. Let's find out. So, formation lap about to begin, and I am not being biased at all with this prediction. I'm going to go Lyronics for the win. He's going to wrap up the championship, I think, tonight. Pretty certain he can. For 2nd, I'm going to go for Sean. And for 3rd, I'm going to go for Maze. I'm going to go TTG all 1, 2, 3. Not biased at all.
For me, I think it'll be Sean first, Lloyd 2nd, and Maze 3rd. And
interesting.
The underdog for me is Mr. Plaster starting in 9th place. Very known for keeping his nose clean, keeping his wing undamaged early in the race, and then just getting his head down. Has been practicing without traction control and was going to run no traction control. He did say, but if there was rain, he would turn it on. So maybe, I don't know whether he is going to turn the traction control on or off or not, what way he's racing in his setups. It's his setup, but if he's racing in his normal, using the traction control on medium setup, you can see him coming through that field and picking off any mistakes from others.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Plaster definitely one to watch. I would watch out for Lighty starting on the softs as well. He can try and make a one-stop goal in that Ferrari. Starting 7th, he's on a set of softs. Watch out for him in this race. Because last week, obviously, he had contact with Sainz, and now Sainz is starting from pole. He hasn't got him anywhere near him. I just think Lighty, with the pace that he showed in the first race, I think he might just come good here tonight in Austria as a bit of a one to watch.
As I said, second place I reckon for Lloyd. Sean first, Lloyd second, I think.
Fantastic, here we go.
Charles Spanner and Science and Ironics works.
5 red lights then are about to go out here in Austria for round 3 here. And it's lights down, away we go. Sainz gets a better start than Ironics off the grid. Sean gets a very good start into third. Just moving across in the back one. Oh, Jeffrey down the inside.
Up there. I think he get any damage off that because I think he did make contact with the back.
He did make contact. It's just contacted. It's just lost Ironics a bit of time actually. And Sean's trying to come around the outside of him. Sneaky around the outside. On the brakes. Oh, and that is dangerous stuff.
That's a poor dive by Mr. Sneaky.
He's going to let him back through here. Yeah, he does. He lets him back through.
Position as well. He should be handing Jeffrey back that position as well, Mr. Sneaky, and he got damage for his own troubles as well.
Oh, trying to go back down the inside of him. Mason Plaster side by side in the background. Oh, Jeffrey being forced off. Jeffrey being forced off, I think, there by George, unless he made a mistake by himself. Lighty down the inside on Jeffrey with front wing damage. Gets the move done.
Oh, yeah, Jeffrey's missing both front end plates, so...
He's going to be into the pits first lap for sure.
I did think he got damage in that first corner, and now Mr. Sneaky has damage with that silly move as well.
George around the outside of Sneaky. Oh, I thought he was going to try it around the outside. Here comes Fate down the inside.
Fate nearly gets collected in that one as well.
Goodness me, but Sainz has got the break. 1.3 seconds at the end of lap 1. Ironics is second. Sean in third. Jeffrey by the way into the pits. As we see a whole host of cars going into turn 1. Battle for fourth. Sneaky holding everyone up.
Yeah, Mr. Sneaky's moving around a bit on the straights as well. Looks, that is dangerous weaving across the track in front of another car. You pick your
Fate! Oh, dearie me!
This is not good driving, guys. This is not good driving. This needs to be cleaned up.
Did he realise that the corner was actually coming there?
I don't know, but it's all stemming from Mr. Sneaky ahead, moving from left to right to left to right. You've 2 moves on a straight, and you make your moves at your times to defend your position or to pick your line into a braking zone. So, you don't. And
George is going to get past him actually. Oh, George!
George oversteers off. He really got blind there. Just oversteered off. And I know. Might have been a bit of a
Fate's going to get past him, is he? Fate's going to get past Sneaky around the outside. I think he has completed that move.
And Lloydie is there as well.
George is off in the background. George off in the background.
Lloydie gets through on Mr. Sneaky as well. So on the other Ferrari of Mays will be chomping at the bit to get by here as quickly as possible now as well.
Yeah, I think I know why Mr. Sneaky. Yeah, sorry to cut in. I think Mr. Sneaky might have left side end plate damage. I'm not sure.
I did see some damage fly off his car and that stupid dive bomb he made. So
DRS up the hill.
Yeah, and Lloydie.
He's got the run trying to go around the outside. Lighty just cuts across him. Oh, Maze late. Goodness me. Goodness me. Sainz, by the way, is 8/10 clear. Ironics has just gained a little bit on that last lap. 5/10 of a second, I think that was gained. Lighty now on the back of Fate.
Sean as well. Look, the gap from Sean now to Fate. Them front 3 have just been able to stretch their legs. With Mr. Sneaky holding everyone up.
I think we're going to see 2 different races, to be honest, at this stage. Sainz Ironics for the lead and Sean in there as well. And then a bit of a mid-pack battle as Maze is getting the run on Sneaky. Again, just a bit questionable driving. Down the inside goes Maze. He's going to get him down the inside into turn 9. Force him wide, gets him. Good move.
That's a lovely move, boy, Maze. And that's Mr. Sneaky.
Elbows out.
That's a lesson. That's a lesson in how you make an overtake.
Has Plaster down the inside? Oh, I thought Plaster was going to go for it.
Yeah, I thought he was looking for it and thinking about it, but he probably seen Mr. Sneaky turning across Maze at turn 2 on the last lap and thought, no, he'll turn across me as well. So
guarantee we're going to see a dive bomb here. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He follows. So.
Oh, losing the back end.
Yeah.
Sneaky losing the back end completely there. Plaster has a run down into turn 4. T-Force India is running quite close to each other. Lighty's getting closer to Fate.
Still on the back of Myers. Yeah, Lighty's not out this one with them soft tyres, as you said, James. Although he was a bit still held up in that Mr. Sneaky battle, the fact that he's on them tyres, he will still be within that. You're looking at after the pit.
Oh, Sneaky's off! Mr. Sneaky's off! Don't know what's happened there. I think. I don't know if he's been caught on the grass on the outside there.
just there in the chat as well, Onyx Mayor asking only 10 drivers, how come? Unfortunately, a few of the drivers registered for the series had other engagements tonight, so hopefully we'll be back up to, I think it's a 16 car grid next week for the final round. Onyx?
It's a better attendance in here than GHL F1, Onyx, I'll tell you that now. Which is a shame. But Lyronix, is he going to get the move down the inside? No, not committing it. But this is going to develop into a good battle, this.
Yeah, and this is all this will do now is they pulled a bit away from Sean at the moment, but these two start battling and start costing each other time. It's just going to allow Sean close back in under Sean's nice clean air in front of him, so he'll just keep his head down and hopefully these battles and allows him to draw back up onto the back of him. Maybe he can try an undercut or an overcut or something around the pit stop point.
Oh, those tyres, I think those ultras beginning to go, and Ironic senses an opportunity into turn 1. Can open the DRS up.
It's not too bad of a track as well for the ultras. The ultras you can stretch them to about 10 laps here, which is not too bad for soft tyres. Usually a track where you have
is this it?
Ultras, you stay away from them.
As I said, he's going to have to go around the outside here, but look at the speed! Lyronix easily passed him on the straight line. Sainz doesn't even try to come back there. Great move, Lyronix has passed.
Even in that corner though, James, you actually want to be on the outside to overtake through that corner, because if you go around the outside, you get a better drive out of the corner than the car taking the inside line. So, where they'll be looking at most of the corners is trying to get down the inside and get past. Most drivers will be looking to go around the outside there, so when that gap opened up for Lyronix and thought, I'd say he was licking his lips at that attempt.
So what does Sainz do now that he's lost the lead? Does he pit now and go for a 2-stop, or does he keep on going and keep that gap to Sean? I would say the latter, keep that gap to Sean.
Yeah, no, he has to keep on going. He has a car ahead of him. I wouldn't say he's thinking at the moment of Sean. He still sees the back of Lyronix's car, so he's still thinking of the win.
Yeah.
And he knows Lyronix is on super soft ahead, who's going to be one stop, and so he knows he has to one stop. He has to make them ultras do about 10 laps.
Fit just losing a little bit of time. Sorry, Lighty just losing a little bit of time to Fit, and Lighty going completely wide into turn 1. Totally missing his braking point there.
Mr. Sneaky was well off the track there at the second last corner as well, which caught. As he's dropped well back off the back of Mason Plaster now.
Abuse of track limits, I think, will be coming into play soon. Beautiful helicopter cam, though, on Fate and Lighty at the minute. Sneaky, as I literally said.
Jeffrey,
3 seconds.
After his early pit stop, closing back in on the back of
Lighty! Round the outside of Fate! Sorry to cut in, Lighty, round the outside of Fate! Close to contact, but good driving between both of them. Fate is defending this well. Lighty all the way around the outside. Switch back down the inside, the German. Lighty down the inside. Brilliant move! Just pushed them off a little bit.
Still there. He's still there.
Oh, he gets back past it. What a move! Brilliant driving.
Excellent battling, guys. This is excellent battling.
Lighty now around the outside of turn 8. Oh, doesn't try, but Maze is getting into this, and Sean's in.
Sean's in the pits, and Maze is rapidly closing up. And did I see one of them lose that there? No, I thought I seen one of them lose that out of the last corner there. As Sean comes in.
No, round the outside of turn 1. Oh, he totally missed his braking point. That's a shame. Brake earlier for the corner, and then you would have made the move.
Sean getting a new front wing, so I think this is a bit of an earlier stop for Sean than he wanted. I think Sean, he would have liked to pit 2 laps later. He's put the softs on, so I think he might try to go to the end, but as I say, them tyres will be screaming by lap 36.
Yeah, George in as well there. Not sure what's up with George. Another front wing change. He's lost it somewhere.
Yeah. So,
I see.
And what car? He's put ultras on, so George is committing to a 2-stop where Sean is going to try to stretch the 1-stop. So there's different strategies at play there.
Ooh, Lighty just went a little wide there.
Yeah. But Lighty now is in perfect position.
He's going to pull away. Sainz is in. Sainz is in from second. 5 second stop. Go for speeding in the pits. That's obviously got to be served. Is that a set of softs I see? It's a set of supers.
He is going to 2-stop. So means in his next stop now he would serve that 5-second stop gun instead of being added to his race time.
Sneaky and Sean looking quite close. Ooh, Sneaky going very slow. He was coming in the pits.
Just gets 5 signs as he comes out of pits.
Past the 5 signs, but Obviously, yellow flag sector 2. Who's
And
that?
Mike gets by five Benfica. Is that Benfica off? And Benfica's missing the front left end plate. Benfica has been off. Miles has stopped by him. And now look at this. It's Lyronix, Lloydie, and Miles in the top 3.
Well, looks like the Maze. Sainz was, I think, attempting to go for the move there on Plaster, but not quite. Plaster doing well though. He's up in the 5th at the stage,
Yeah.
and if he fends off Sainz, I think.
He keeps his head down. He keeps his head down and keeps that front wing clean. It's all about getting your car at the end. It's an old cliche, but it's so true. To finish
I'll tell you what a run! What a run! Sainz has got out the corner. I think Plaster might be just letting him through here. He's going to dive it into the pits, and Sainz is through.
Yeah, that's a wise move from Plaster.
Odd line going into the pits there, taking a very wide line to normal.
I don't think he came down a gear enough. He probably maybe dropped another gear and would have given the bike the
Oh, Fate in AI! What's going on there? Fate in AI!
That's not good as Sainz. No, he's back on track for me now. He's solid for me as Sainz up the inside.
Sainz down the inside. Good side by side racing. Good move. Great move.
Oh, yeah, Sainz gets it done.
Got the DRS as well, but Fate is right in there. Fate, obviously realising there must be a glitch in the game or something, because he's sticking right by him.
And
Sainz defends it well.
You can see Fate's front wing end plate missing, so this is where Fate's going to struggle to keep it Sainz now, but on them straights,
easily. Oh, and he's in the gravel.
See, there, he's in the gravel. As soon as it comes to the tight twisty section, he's hurting with that wing. But it's actually benefiting him there on the straights when he was battling the Sainz with less downforce and he was more top speed.
Yep, Sneaky. Speaking of more top speed, Sneaky. Oh, George! Was that a bit of lag there?
I didn't see anything, George, there. I was watching Fight to see who was going in, but the two of them side by side here.
Going down the straight into turn 4. George outbreaking himself here, but makes it through the corner.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice move, George.
Defending the position there. It's a good move.
Come back, yeah. I think this battle will continue on probably for the majority of the race, I would say, between these two.
Definitely. Hopefully my connection is not dropping out because
11 laps in and we still have all 10 running, James.
Fantastic. That's what we like to see. All 10 drivers running, even if you are like a minute behind with George and Sneaky. Lyronix nearly coming up to lap them actually.
At the moment, the only ones left to make a pit stop so far are our front 3.
Top 3.
Everyone else has made a pit stop other than the front 3. As we got Wilco Sprintenveld saying go Jeffrey in the chat. Jeffrey doing a good job. Get himself a bit of damage with a little silly move into turn 1 at the start, but he hit it early and he's doing a good recovery drive at the moment.
Sainz within the DRS of Maze, not closing in enough this time. Lighty picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's the turn 1. Look at the closing speed though. Sainz, much fresher tyres, and he should get past him here. I would say down the inside at the top of the hill into turn 2. Should be Sainz's move. Beautiful helicopter shot, we'll see it from here. Sainz down the inside, Maze will get the run off the corner. But look at the fresher tyres. Fresher tyres though coming into play, Sainz gets it.
Kept them up with them fresh tyres. Definitely the drive that Maze got out of that corner kept him up with them fresh tyres. And that's what I'm saying about being on the outside of that corner.
Yeah.
Gives you the better drive down that side.
I'll tell you what, he's not done with. We're on the outside.
Back around the outside.
No, Sainz just pushing across onto the right hand side there, a little bit of a defensive move, so good stuff there by Sainz to keep that position, and now he'll begin to pull away from Maze.
And these guys battling are just letting Lloydie pull away and get a bit of breathing space. He's got a nice bit of clean air in front and behind now, Lloydie. He can just concentrate on making sure he gets them softs to where he needs to get them to.
Yeah, 4.5 seconds the gap, but that gap is going to close quite considerably over the next couple of laps, I would imagine. With fresher tyres, fresher super softs.
We've got at the moment, everyone's got off now the ultra soft tyre, so at the moment everyone's on their own. Well, sorry, George still in the ultra soft, who's going for a 2-stop, so we'll see him go to a higher super soft stint after that. I'd also expect maybe Jeffrey who pitted on lap 1 to
oh, speaking of George, he's round. George is round, and where on earth is that? That is out of turn 5.
Yeah, it's the end of sector 2 into sector 3.
I don't know what on earth has happened there to George. He has been lapped now by Lyronix.
Yeah.
Well, there's Lighty coming round actually, just in behind him. He's got to be aware he moves out of the way. That's good stuff from him.
And just at the moment as well, 14 laps in, our biggest gainers and losers at the moment.
What?
It's 6 places. As George gets a 10-second time penalty, with Lloydie up 5 places from the start at the moment, our biggest gainers. And everyone's down, anyone that's lost places are all down 2 places, except for Mr. Sneaky, who's down 4 at the moment.
George now, is that going to be his day, do you think? Is he going to retire in the pits?
I don't think so, because you think he had to make another pit stop anyway, so you think he'll happily just come in, stick it
Softs to the end.
Yeah, so he knew he was going to have to pit again anyway, so this is his second pit stop, so it wasn't worth retiring for him at this stage. He knew that that pit already had to be made, so
yeah.
I think we will see him around again, possibly.
Let's have a look. That is Fate going past him, so he's been lapped by everyone bar Sneaky. Not great
he's
stuff.
Got a big job in his hands. He's got a big job in his hands to catch back up to Mr. Sneaky, who he was battling with there as well. So
yeah, one advantage I think is he's on the softs. He can go to the end, and he should just keep on going and keep. You never know. Fastest lap of the race might get an extra point. Who knows? Could introduce that in for him.
Science is starting to gain back in now on Lloydie as well, and over the last few laps now. But
3 seconds.
We know this is so. See, Science again. We know still has to stop. He's not going to get them super softs to the end. We know he's going to have to go in and put another set of ultras on that car. So Lloydie still has to pit as well. So all Lloydie has to do is just keep Science behind him. Nice defensive driving, clean defensive driving. Mays, who is going to be going into a soft stint, we're expecting the next couple of laps, is in a perfect position here now, because when these two do catch up to each other and start battling, Mays will be going on to clean or to fresh tyres into clean air and could benefit majorly from this little battle here.
Yeah, he will be coming into the pit soon as well. Lyronix is still in the pit, and in fact, Lyronix is in. Lyronix is into the pit from the lead.
I think Mays probably will be in this lap as well.
Let's have a ride on board. He's just coming out of turn 6 and 7. Lyronix in, we'll focus on him in a minute. Science closing that gap to 1.8 seconds. Another second gained at least this lap. Lyronix, set of ultras.
Ooh, so that's going to be a 2-stop for Lyronix as well then. He's going to have to put another set of ultras on that car. So now Lloydie and Mays, who haven't pitted, are in an excellent position.
Mr. Sneaky gone off. Yeah, Mr. Sneaky's just had a moment at the top of the hill. Just seen him lose a bit of time there.
Mr. Sneaky, Elk and George close back in for another bit of a battle before the end, maybe?
Hopefully.
Benfica closing in on Plaster now as well. Further back for 7th and 8th.
Yeah, 1.9 seconds.
He's up 2 places at the moment from a starting position. We did say keeping his head down, and he'll know as well that Jeffrey ahead has to pit as well. So.
But I tell you what, I think this dynamic of the race is going to change. Have you seen the weather conditions? It was going to rain.
Yeah.
It's coming over.
Yeah. So.
Another very cloudy, and this is the traditional change from dries to what we expect as inters. Might even be a wet race before the end. Full wet. Lighty into the pits.
We also know with this game as well, James, and I've commentated on a couple of races, one with Andy, one with Kieran, where it rains, but it never actually wets the track enough to get down to the inter tyres. So they're still on the stick tyre for the while they're on the greasy track. It just never gets wet enough to the track to actually put the inters on the car. So, but that's a possibility as well. So until the weather changes, it's a guessing game, I suppose.
Both Ferraris in, by the way. Lighty just coming out of the pits ahead of Sean by about 5-6 tenths per second there, and Jeffrey will be coming out ahead of Mays.
Mays has timed that perfectly as well, coming in there as well with the stop, because we've seen Mercedes do it on their safety car and stuff in the real F1 recently with the double stack. But in this game, to make a double stack up, you need to have your teammate at least 8 seconds ahead of you, so they can get in, clear the box, and your team can have a new set of tyres ready for you when you hit the box. Yeah.
I think it was about 8.5 seconds the gap, so pretty much perfection there.
Nicely timed by Mays there to follow in Lloydie.
Did I just spy a bit of rain? Or was that just me? I think that might have just been me.
No, this is an interesting decision here from Myers. It's an interesting decision from Myers to go on to another set of Supersofts, because if we do get the conditions that doesn't wreck the track and up the pit again, Myers will have committed himself to a second stop now anyway, no matter what, because he has to run 2 different compounds of turn, where he's done 2 stints in the same compound now.
Looks like we're going to have a battle actually. Plaster and Fate looking very close here. Coming to the final corner. Fate's going to get the run. He's got DRS open. The Portuguese driver should get past. Should get past down into someone. Plaster will back off this and Fate's through. Good move.
Oh, he tries to hang around the outside. Plaster. I thought he might have tried a little cut back there, but...
got the run off the corner.
I'm looking at it on board with their telemetry or their data.
Plaster on the outside! Oh, he's gone wide! Oh, he goes wide!
Plaster has yellow fuel light on, which means he will at some stage in this race have to save fuel. Fate ahead of him has no fuel light on, so he can just put the foot down and get his moves done.
Well, Fate gets past Plaster there for 7th place. There's not really much happening now apart from these two going at it. Still 10 drivers out on track. More than halfway through. Lyronic's leading by 5.8 seconds. Race looking like it is at the minute.
Yeah, I think. But then again, he's on a 2-stop, and so is Sainz. So you're looking at the gap at the moment to Lloyd is about 19 seconds. Lloyd is still about 3 seconds ahead of him, theoretically on track. So he needs to stretch his legs a little bit more, Lyronic's, just to make sure that he gets back out of the second pit stop ahead of Lloyd. Yeah,
sorry, just got something in my eye. Goodness me. Trying to...
It's never nice.
Never nice. Goodness me. Oh, Fate! Oh, it's starting to rain! I think it might be starting to rain.
Yeah, I think I see a few splits around there myself.
Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see it in front of the cockpit of Fate.
The air temperature has definitely dropped, because we're starting to see the downforce vortices off the rear wings of the cars now as well. And that's a result of cold air temperature you see down vortices. So if it's not raining, rain's not far away.
Yeah, it's raining now. It's raining now, and it looks heavier than what it was in qualifying actually. On board Fate running through the final corner.
Even at the end of qualifying, it was still drying up and there was still grip there as well. It's an interesting track as well, Austria, because of it being the way it's located on the side of a hill. There's a lot of drainage compared to, say, somewhere like Australia, where we've seen races being cancelled or shortened because they've had to send squidgies out to dry off the track and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Austria has very natural drainage, so...
Yeah. I think Canada 2011 comes to my mind when you mention wet races.
Well, yeah.
Absolute melee. Malaysia.
It's not somewhere like the likes of Austria, Brazil as well. Because of monsoons can get fairly wet, but the drainage system is pretty good. It's on the side of the hill. Spa, anything that's sort of located up on the side of the hill, you get good drainage, natural drainage. Where you see puddling a lot more on the flatter surface.
Slight mistake by Jeffrey actually. I'm on board with Mays, closing in. Supersofts seem to be working in these cold air temperatures at this stage.
Falling off the back of Fate there. Yeah, obviously the guys on Supersofts or Lyronic's on Ultras ahead. This will well benefit them, because they'll keep the temperature in the tyres a lot easier than the soft runners with the cooling temperatures. Still a bit of sunshine coming through there as you come through turn 1. I don't think at the moment it's just wet enough or heavy enough to cause faulty winters just yet.
Definitely not. I think we're still a good couple of laps away. I would say 20, anywhere between 24 and 26, I think, would be intermediate condition tyres. It normally takes about 4 or 5 laps for them to work out, and especially with this track being quite short, Austria of course, it will work into the favour of these drivers. The more laps that they set now, better they'll be, and the less time they'll have to do on the inters come the end.
Yeah, that's if they, of course, have to go to inters, as we say. It has happened where...
Oh, Jeffrey's off! Jeffrey off!
He just clipped the curb in front of Miles there, and it just oversteered him directly off into the
Has
Bravo,
he
caught
got
the
a
car
puncture?
He caught the car
No.
nicely though. No, he has got it. He's going into the pits though, so obviously.
Rain's coming down heavier. Rain's coming down heavier now. It's starting to affect the track. Pit lane looks damp. There's the yellow flag in sector 3.
Still plenty of
George, I think.
Someone out there.
Might be strategy change to come. Jeffrey's first onto the inters. I think Plus is going to follow the same. Yeah, on into inters. Gypsy George. George is going to come in onto inters as well. And he's going to be, yeah, surely that's going to be an intermediate condition tyres as well. I think we're going to see DRS disabled next lap.
I think it's too early still. Looking at the track and looking at the rainfall, I think it's still too early. I'm looking at Sean going around, he's a bit slidey on the soft tyre.
Dry line forming. Dry line forming coming up the hill.
Unless the super softs, they're sticking nicely to the track, them supers.
George coming out on a set of supers.
Yeah, that's it. As I said to you, it's an interesting.
He's sliding all over the place.
He's decided to go for Inters now as well, so
Sean's in.
The front guy's still all out on it.
They're at a disadvantage because they've already passed the pit lane, so they're at a disadvantage actually at this stage.
Yeah, but don't forget there you've got Lyronix who is coming through towards the end of sector 2 now. You say the DRS being turned off as a marker for when to go into the pit. So if the DRS is turned off now, he's actually calling it perfect. But it looks like he's going to go for the pits anyway. I thought he might have went another lap with the DRS.
Spray being really kicked up now. Oh, lap 23. Do you know what? My prediction there, lap 24. I'll take that. Take that. It's at the final corner, so I'll take that.
That's still out there on the. And that's it.
Oh, Mr. Sneaky coming in front of Sainz. Bit of an awkward moment coming into the pits there. Oh, polystyrene boards go flying. Oh, get rid of that.
Lloydie stays out. Lloydie stays out for another lap on them super.
He's messed that up.
I'm not too sure. Maybe if you
Ironix is out in front of him.
But if you can get that car around to, say, sector, maybe the end of sector 2, midway through sector 3, and then the stewards disable ER or DRS, will be a good indication to him that he's actually caught it spot on. I don't think he would have challenged Lyronix anyway.
It's going to be Lighty. If he loses more time, Sean might be coming into play for third.
Yeah, Sean's gaining very rapidly there. That's, I think, Sean is the problem with Sean there.
16.4. So Lighty, what's an average pit stop round here?
An average pit stops around here is about 22 seconds. So he's just ahead of Sean. He's going to come out
22
ahead of Sean for the moment.
It's 26 seconds at this stage.
Yeah, so he's just going to come out a couple of seconds ahead of Sean at the moment. We still haven't had DRS disabled now. He's sliding through the.
Oh, DRS has been disabled.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, DRS disabled end of lap 23, final corner.
Oh, I didn't see it pop up, so.
So Lighty, oh my goodness me!
Very slidey.
Oh, nearly in the wall. Oh, could have been like GHR F1 in Austria there. Goodness me, people crashing the pits. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. George, I think, has lost it. George, I think, losing it there. Where's Sean? Sean at the final two corners.
He approaches the last corner. Sean, I think Lloydie will just be out ahead of him. Lloydie.
And way ahead of him. It's going to be 4 seconds, I think.
Sean just approaching us. Yeah, he's a bit ahead.
3.5, 4 seconds, I think the gap is. Yeah, about 4 seconds, so not too bad. But Lyronix, 20.5 seconds out in front. George opting to go for a set of wets.
That's an interesting choice.
Well, he is a lap down from everyone now. He may as well try them out. Nothing to lose, really. That'll be Plaster coming past him. He's been up twice
Sean's
now, actually.
Telling me he's on. The graphics telling me he's on the inters, and his car's telling me he's on softs.
Who's this?
Sean.
Sean, let's have a look. No, he's definitely on inters on my screen. Green wall tyres. Clearly a tyre glitch going on there. One of many glitches I think this game has experienced in the last 10 months or so.
Yeah. hopefully with the longer development time for the upcoming game, there's less glitches and the likes in it.
If it's perfection from the start, I'd be very happy because I'm a league owner at heart, and I want to make sure the game is perfect before we run anything. So plenty of stress testing, I think, is going to be happening in the first couple of weeks. I'm going to try and brick the game in the first 3 days. See what happens. So anyways, if you're just tuning in, why would you be tuning in at this point? You've missed probably the most of the action now. Lyronix 20 seconds clear of Science, and Lighty in third.
We've seen this as well last week in the rain as well. Lyronix just seems to be able to just stretch his legs in the wet weather and just disappear.
George is back in. Again. Back on into something.
At the moment, this secures Lyronix the F2 mini-series championship, because he will be on 27 points as next, or sorry, 75 points as next.
Oh, sneaky! Sneaky ran the wrong way at turn 5. I think he's careered off onto the grass there to end up backwards.
George back in the pit again.
Set of inters, the wet didn't work for him. He's got, is that Science coming through turn 1? It is Science coming through turn 1. Obviously he has to get out of the way. George realises the blue flags, pulls to one side, and Science easily that through. Good sportsmanship there. Might be 2-3 laps down now, but George is still keeping on going.
Yeah,
bless him.
Fair play to George. At the moment it's points. He's in the points kind of position, so
exactly. And I mean sneaky as well, 57 seconds behind Plaster, he's still going round. If this was a traditional league race, and if you saw people may not be committing as such, they would be giving up by this point, I would imagine, for sure.
Oh, of course, yeah, especially like you're thinking Mr. Sneaky and George, who are so far behind. Like, obviously you have bar in the second and third place, everyone else is within 10 seconds of the car ahead, like with Plaster being 4.5 seconds off Jeffrey, so everyone will still see their competitors ahead on their mini maps.
Yeah.
The engineers will be still giving them good information about the cars around them, so they'll still feel they're all still in a race. So
oh, Sneaky's out wide. And Lighty! Oh, Lighty's off! Final corner! What on earth?
Oh, and I think they're seeing Sean get a bit happy coming around that final corner as well, which helped Lighty get back going and ahead of him.
I think it could be full wet before the end.
Possibly the way it's looking.
Rain's coming down quite heavy.
There's no puddles at the moment, which is the main thing to look for full wets. When you see puddles off that dry line, then you will see full wet conditions. I think as well the spray off the inters isn't really that thick at the moment as well, particularly on the dry line.
Now, as soon as I've just said that, I swear the rain's starting to get lighter now. I could be wrong. Keep an eye on that. Don't think it'll turn dry before the end. I doubted it highly.
Now, the interesting thing at the moment, the battle for second place in the championship, Mays and Sean will be only a point in it either way going to the last round if it stays like this.
Wow.
If Lighty or Science or Lyronix were to have a spin and they were both to get by before the end of this race, it would leave them level on points. So it's going to be interesting for second place going to the last round at Silverstone.
Up 29 out of 36. Lyronix, 20 seconds. Science almost just stabilising that gap. It's been completely neutral for the last, well, since the start of the interstint, really. Been completely neutral around 20 seconds. Lighty in third, Sean in fourth, who is beginning to gain, I think, now on Lighty, so just watch out for that. Mrs. Sneaky picks up a 3 second time penalty.
So penalty. That's penalties are going to come into play as well here.
That's what I'm going to check now.
Is obviously fairly good at keeping, we all know, keeping his penalties clean, keeping his nose clean. Where we all know Sean ahead picks up penalties, so that's going to come into play there, I think.
Yeah, just having a look on the race director. Everyone has made 2 stops, bar George, who has made 6. So
So George making a run at Steph's record of 9, I think here. He's equals my second place of 6 at Monaco. So
Will he go for the record tonight? Who knows? But Ironics, one warning out of all this. Sainz has got a stop go, but I think he served that. He's also got a penalty, so 3 seconds for him. Lighty, with his traditional track limit, 6 penalties for Lighty. Sean has got nothing. 2 warnings.
is that 6 penalties or 6 seconds worth of penalties?
6 penalties. 18 seconds worth.
Seconds. So Lloydie will drop behind Mays and Sean at the moment as it stands. Possibly
Mays...
even Benfica might benefit from that as he's close enough.
Yeah, Mays, no warnings at all. Nothing.
Yeah, Mays is notoriously clean.
Fate, 1 penalty, 3 seconds. Jeffrey has got 1 penalty, 3 seconds. He actually hasn't picked up a warning in quite a while. Plaster on 3 penalties. Sneaky on 2 penalties. And George, with a 10-second time penalty on lap 2, a penalty, another penalty, has picked up, I think that's 16 seconds worth of penalties.
Seconds, yeah, 16 seconds worth of penalties for George. So, at the moment, Mays stands to finish third in this race with the right penalties we're looking at the minute. So he has a bit of breathing room over everyone else as well. So, as
Yellow flag to the... Oh, sneaky!
Into the pits. Is it time for 4 wets? Mays is into the pits. Is this a call that's going to make or break his race?
Sneaky out, and he's crashed on the left side, running up through turn 7, on the exit of turn 7. And Mays has called it, full wet. Oh, look at the rain! Look at the rain! Teeming down now! In Austria.
There's only a safety car here as well for Mr. Sneaky's car, or...
I don't think there will be. He'll get removed. It's off track, I think, where he's crashed as well, so... Okay, so Mays punts. It's a big gamble, I think. Yeah, obviously...
He's got back out ahead of Plaster, in between Plaster and Jeffrey, so...
Just if he loses time.
It's whether the guys ahead feel that it's worth going on for 4 wets.
That's George ahead, by the way. Ahead of Mays.
Yeah.
I think it's at the crossover point. It might be just slightly inters at this stage.
The wet tyres and the inters just seem to be just about stable.
Dead level.
Drag racing to down the straight there. So, yeah, it's going more towards 4 wets than it is inters at the moment.
Oh, Mays nearly losing control of the car. George gets out the way.
So,
Pastor on the back.
Now Edison is battling behind. Lets the 2 of them through. We've actually is this Lyronis coming around as well to lap Plaster as well?
It is. You're right, it is.
You have to drop off the back of Mays to let Lyronis lap him. Now, Lyronis if you go and try and lap Mays as well.
Uh-oh. I think my connection might be packing up. Move the PS4.
Hopefully not.
Move the PS4. You were lagging just slightly there. I'm not sure if it was my end, so I'll just be precautional. Lap 33 out of 36, 4 more laps to go, and that is Mays about to get lapped by Ironics. But Mays is pulling away from Plaster, actually, interestingly.
Yeah.
So just watch out for that.
Is it worth the time at this stage of the race, though? Going to 4 wets or trying
I don't think it is. I think it's still inters. Mr. Sneaky's left the session, much to be a VSC now. It just stops play completely. I'll just be terrible if there's a VSC called. Plaster on the back end of Mays, losing control of the car, Plaster. And that's on a set of inters.
What I want to see is a full safety car if you're going to see any...
Oh, full safety car, lap 33, you must be kidding.
At this stage, well, I'd finish under a safety car, but I'd rather see a full safety car than a VSC. At least the full safety car closes everything back up and gets racing going again. The VSC is just... It's basically the best to describe it, Sky Electrics with all the cars on the one track.
Up 34 out of 36, and Ironics doing a great job out in front, 21.7 seconds out in front, but the real battle is just behind them actually out on track. Mays and Plaster, 0.5 of a second. Delta times look pretty even compared to the wets and the inters at this stage. And this really, apart from George, is for the wooden spoon.
Even on the dry line now, you can see how much Mays' left tyre's spray is kicking up off the dry line.
Yeah.
So Blaster has to be slightly starting to struggle here with this.
Ooh,
See him, he's getting right down to first gear on that
had a half commitment there. He's side by side with him. Side by side with him. Inter's getting a much better run, and looks like Plaster's going to get past Mays here. Plaster down the inside, going down into turn 4. Mays will try around the outside, actually. But Mays has to back off, and Plaster's through. Good move.
Yeah, that's a good move for Plaster. He gets a bit tail happy down there, coming up the hill, Plaster. So.
Oh, he's run wide. Mays down the inside, but he's going to get the traction off the corner. Side by side, Mays is back down the inside here. Mays back down the inside.
It's a good battle in between the two of these in the
Keeps on giving. Plaster just about, but Mays is going to get the run into turn 8. It's not over with. This is for the proverbial wooden spoon. Lap 7 and 8.
Miles will have to run up into turn 1 here now.
Got 2 more laps to go. Lyronics leading the way. These have got 3 more laps to go. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Was that George? George's round. Turn 8.
George is around.
Sean catching Lighty actually. 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's interesting what Miles went left on because from penalties he was better to benefit before the pit stop.
I really hope, by the way, your internet provider is not doing the update now because your mic is, like, really bad. It's terrible at this stage. Let's hope it's not on the blink. At least it's on the blink at the end of the race and not at the beginning. That's the best thing. But ironically, George Barber is back into the pits. That's his 7th pit stop for George. And Ironics, 24.2 seconds out in front. What?
Sorry.
Your mic is still bad. We'll try and continue on. Hopefully it's not my end. I don't think it would. I don't think it's my end because I would have got a internet connection not sufficient enough. But on to the final lap, and it looks like Ironics, 25 seconds. He is going to wrap up the championship here tonight. There's one more race to go. We may as well not attend next week. Now that he's won the championship, but obviously we have to have Lyronics there next week to try and complete the clean sweep. 4 out of 4. Sounds about to go on to the final lap in second, but I mean he's a full sector ahead is Lyronics at this stage. Nobody really closing in. Lighty and Sean says Lighty is a 1 lap down. That is interesting.
That's
not 1 lap down.
Ahead of him, usually.
Yeah. Yeah, Lighty across the line, there we go. Fixes the interval timing. Sean, Fate, Jeffrey all getting onto the final lap here. I think Plaster's been lapped, has he? Yeah, Plaster has been lapped. So, Lyronics, it's going to be a smart 3 out of 3. He is going to wrap up the TTG F2 championship here. These final 2 corners, essentially, this last lap. A lap of honour. Yellow flag sector 3. Jeffrey's crashed in front of him. He's crashing the pit lane. He's crashing the pits. That's the second time I think I've ever seen that. But Lyronics comes across the line to win here in Austria. It's a dominant win again for the German. A great performance from TTG. Lyronics wraps up the championship. Great win. Plaster, by the way, across the line in 6th. Mays jumps in penalties.
So that's Mays into 6, Plaster into 7. George will get 8, unfortunately for Jeffrey.
I don't think he will. I think Jeffrey lapped him, so George will finish 9th.
Well, Jeffrey didn't finish the race, so George will get the points for 8th place. Jeffrey,
right.
Because he didn't finish the race, won't score points at all.
Lighty, Signs, by the way, coming across the line in second. Good performance from him. Much better than Canada last week, where we only made it through to 8, not even to turn 1. Lighty coming across the line in third. Watch out for the penalties, though, because Sean's going to jump him considerably.
I think Fight will as well.
Let's have a look. He's 20 seconds behind. I think it's just going to be 2-3 seconds maybe to Lighty. George around the final corner.
He was earlier on, close enough, though. He just wasn't able to hold it.
Going to come across the line. Yeah, George across the line in 9th. Obviously, we'll get 8th with him finishing the race. And Fate finishing 5th in the end.
So,
it's another dominant win for a German, though. Dominant win. Championship winner, Lyronics, at the top step of the podium here in Austria. Obviously, we move on. What is the track next week for anyone that doesn't know, including me?
Silverstone.
Silverstone,
So,
oh yes.
Silverstone, the
Home of
home
British
F1.
Motorsport. Get in. Love the track. Absolutely love it. I love the.
Yeah.
I know the corner names around there as well, so you'll see me at my best round there for sure. But Lyronix on the top step of the podium. And there we go, there is the result of the Austrian Grand Prix. Apart from the suspect driving, I would say, in the opening few laps from Mr. Sneaky especially. Very clean race as a whole. Lyronix takes the win here from Sainz in second with a 3-second time penalty there, Sainz. Sean in third, Lighty fourth, Benfica in fifth, Mays in sixth, Plaster in seventh, Jeffrey in 8th, George in 9th. Obviously, he will get 8th because of the way this league works. Obviously, he has finished the race. 26 seconds worth of penalties, but I think it was well worth it in the end for him. Sneaky across the line, DNFing in 10th, and he would have been picking up that final point. But Lyronix, who's your driver of the day, by the way?
Driver of the day for me, probably going to be Lyronix. He was able to get ahead of Sainz early, just when Sainz pitted, and he was just able to stretch his legs on that super soft straight stint. So that when it came around to the rain, he had a fairly comfortable advantage, shall we say, already, and he just went and extended that further then in the round.
Yeah.
So an excellent drive all around by Lyronix, and wraps up the championship win.
I think it has been.
Sean will now have jumped Mays. There was 3 points in it in the favour of Mays, so now Mays is going to be 3 points behind Sean going into the next round for second place. So that's a battle to keep an eye on next week.
Yeah, not great news there for Mays, but obviously it is going to be quite close, and that is for second, isn't it, in the championship standings?
That's for second in the championship standings, yeah. So
fantastic. We have got a battle going into next week, so tune in.
I think there is a further battle further down as well with Plaster and Faith, and if I remember correctly, I think Kieran might be in that as well when he comes back next week as well. So there is a bit of battling further down the field for position as well.
That is good stuff, of course. Obviously, I do appreciate seeing battles, especially when it's a championship battle going into the final race. For sure.
Miles there in the chat saying worth a gamble for the wets. Usually is a gamble in the wet for Miles, but unfortunately for you, not this time. You were actually third. You were third with penalties. You would have finished in third place with penalties to Lloyd if you hadn't have pitted. So kind of slightly backfired on you there, mate, that time.
I was honestly thinking, why on earth?
Yeah, but don't forget he's in the car. Jeff will only give him the penalties for the driver ahead or behind.
Yeah.
So with Lloydie being 2 cars ahead, he wouldn't have known Lloydie had 18 seconds worth of penalties. So that's why he's saying it was worth a gamble.
Hopefully everyone has enjoyed the action though on TTG F2. May's just coming in and saying he hates the wet.
Hate the wet, yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah. I don't blame him for that as well. I think everyone hates the wet, but it is. You have to be, if you're a driver, you have to be good both in the dry and in the wet, and that's just on a general basis. Really, I'm saying that. But final note from me. Great racing, I think, in TTG F2. We've got Lyronix as champion, of course, going into next week. We have got a great battle for second, though, between Sean and Mays. I can't wait to see how that's going to unfold between the two Brits out at the home of British Motorsport, and we hope you can tune in for that. Thank you to Alan Kay for joining me in the commentary box, as per usual. Been a great ride again.
And we shall see you next week.
Of course, we will be back, same time, same place, for the final round of TTG F2, round 4 at Silverstone. We will be back next week at 8 PM. It'll be me and Alan Kay in the commentary box, as per usual. So,
don't forget, guys, as well, Thursday 8 PM will be Kieran in the box for TTG F1, the no assists mini-series. So, don't forget to check in and join Kieran. Unfortunately, Andy won't be there this week. He's away. Andy will be back with him next week for Silverstone But this Thursday it's Kieran as well, 8 p.m. and I think it's Nexus Jack or Nexus Iceman as he's changed his name to now is back on Saturday for TT Project Cars live from Le Mans Bugatti, which
Ooh.
ironically is running at the same time as the Le Mans 24-hour in real life will be running. So
I'm
sure
gonna
there'll
be
be plenty of interest generated around that one.
Yeah, I've got GHO F4 on Saturday, and I'm going to be keeping one eye on Le Mans and one eye on the stream because I have to do a double job there. So just watch out for me there. But if you are wanting some more action from us, I've got Gavra tomorrow at 8:30 for anyone that is interested in watching that. I'm going to be joined by an American commentator again, like last week, which I wasn't expecting at all. Just sprung out of nowhere. And then you can tune into GHR, Global Hub Racing, not getting a bit of a punt out here at all towards GHR, but go and follow them on Twitter and whatever. It's not because I own the
While
league
you're
at
on
all.
Twitter, make sure you follow the @TTGaming Esports account, and also while you're on Twitter, go and follow @DRL. They're an up-and-coming league, and they are now being powered by TTG,
TTG.
and their leagues, their F1 leagues, and also Moto GP 2019 leagues will be streamed live on TTV.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And certainly I think we're going to be working with... I think they're going to have another partner in that league, LK Racing Esports. And I'm working with them for GHR. So it's all looking very positive. Sure, and I'm sure your F1 2019 plans will be coming out soon. I want to pressure
as
that.
I say, we have some plans on some changes there, but as you say, new game needs to be got and some stress testing needs to be done before you can fire ahead. So, but yeah, keep your eyes peeled over the coming weeks, and there is some interesting and up and coming news coming throughout the whole of the league racing community and esports world. So.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. These next couple of weeks are going to be vital, I think, to gathering new drivers into both to TTG and to GHR from my perspective as well. But on that note, I think we've covered pretty much everything. We have rambled on a little bit there at the end of the stream, but still, that's just me, really.
It's always good to plug the leagues and partners we're involved with. So.
It is, and I'm sure some drivers out of TTG would want to join GHR, especially what we're going to be introducing, which I think has been done with... I don't think no other league has done this, what we're doing. So...
There you go, you heard it here, guys. Keep your eyes peeled.
Contact me if you want to join.
More news shortly.
Yeah, contact me if you do want to join, but thank you, Darren K, once again in the commentary box for joining me. Fantastic as always.
Thank you yourself, James. It was an excellent race and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks to our viewers for joining us.
Thanks everyone for joining in the comment section and on track, of course. Lyronix taking the championship here, but we roll on next week. The bandwagon rolls on to the home of British motorsport at Silverstone. We'll see you there. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.